Beneath the sands of Egypt, beneath the iconic silhouettes of the pyramids that have haunted our dreams and mystified our scholars for millennia, lies a truth buried so deep it threatens to rewrite everything we thought we knew about human history and spiritual destiny. The ancients did not build these monuments merely to honor kings or mark tombs. No, these massive stone giants are not simply mausoleums. They are thresholds, portals, silent sentinels guarding secrets that were never meant for the profane eyes of the uninitiated. But what if I told you that beneath these sacred structures, under layers of sandstone and time, explorers and spiritual seekers have uncovered chambers that defy explanation? Tunnels that lead not to death, but to initiation. Strange hieroglyphs that pulse with esoteric meaning when read under starlight. Artifacts of impossible craftsmanship, crystals cut with atomic precision, sarcophagi that do not contain corpses, but energies. Energies that respond not to machines, but to thought. This is not the realm of fantasy. This is the forgotten science of the soul. Long before Egypt became a kingdom of gold and pharaohs, it was the land of the Nedjeru, the divine intelligences that taught humanity the alchemy of transformation. The pyramids are their message carved into stone. And under these great structures, especially the Great Pyramid of Giza, lie chambers never meant to be stumbled upon by accident. These were spaces of initiation, where sound and silence were tools of awakening, where geometry whispered the names of stars, where the soul, through sacred ritual, could remember its origin. In this video, we will journey beneath the surface, both literally and metaphorically. We will explore what archaeologists, mystics, and forbidden texts suggest lies beneath the pyramids. We'll unravel the esoteric significance of what was found, hidden rooms, unexplained technology, and symbols that resonate with the knowledge of Atlantis, the stars, and perhaps other dimensions. We'll uncover why this matters now, more than ever, as the world teeters on the edge of forgetting what it truly means to be human. Stay with me. What you are about to hear has been kept from the world, guarded by time and intention. It is a path not just into history, but into yourself. Long before modern archaeologists brushed dust off stone blocks and labeled them relics of a pharaonic empire, the ancient Egyptian priesthood already understood something the world is only now beginning to remember. These pyramids were not designed by brute strength or primitive tools. They were encoded temples of transformation, sacred instruments designed not to preserve the dead, but to awaken the living. In the hidden teachings of the Hermetic tradition, derived from the fabled Thoth or Hermes Trismegistus, Egypt was never simply a nation. It was a living school, a mirror of the stars. And the pyramids? They were more than monuments. They were vibrational keys. What was found beneath them, in sealed chambers untouched by millennia, are not merely archaeological wonders. They are confirmations of a higher knowledge that modern science still struggles to comprehend. Under the Great Pyramid of Giza lies a mysterious subterranean network known as the Osiris Shaft. Discovered over a century ago and mostly ignored by mainstream academics, this dark descent into the bedrock of the earth was not made by accident. It spirals downward like an ancient metaphor, guiding the initiate through layers of consciousness, from the surface mind, to the buried soul, to the inner temple of divine remembrance. Ancient texts like the pyramid texts and Book of Coming Forth by Day speak not only of gods and kings, but of a spiritual journey, one that begins not in the afterlife, but in the living body of the earth itself. Beneath the step pyramid of Djoser at Saqqara, an entire complex of tunnels and corridors forms what appears to be a ceremonial labyrinth, aligning with the ancient myth of the soul's passage through the trials of the underworld. But esoterically, the underworld was never about death. It was about depth. The descent was symbolic, a metaphor for the inner quest to awaken latent spiritual powers. The chambers beneath the pyramids weren't tombs, but initiatic halls. Within them, rituals were performed that involved resonance, vibration, darkness, and silence, designed to dislodge the soul from the confines of the ego and lead it to direct experience of the divine. Consider Plato's mention of Atlantis, a civilization said to possess great spiritual technology before it was lost beneath the sea. Now ask, is it coincidence that the construction of the pyramids aligns not only with celestial movements, but with Atlantean lore? Many esoteric traditions, including theosophy and the teachings of Edgar Cayce, speak of a hall of records buried beneath the Sphinx, an archive of Atlantean knowledge preserved beneath the desert sands, waiting for humanity to be ready. Could the recent use of ground-penetrating radar near the pyramids, revealing voids and anomalies yet unexplored, hint at this buried legacy? What lies beneath the pyramids is not just stone and shadow, but the remnants of a consciousness that understood the unity of all things. These structures were not built to honor gods, they were built to create them, to turn men into divine beings, to transmute lead into gold, not chemically, but spiritually. In ancient Egyptian cosmology, the pyramid was the Benben, the original mound that rose from the primeval waters of chaos. From it, creation unfolded. To descend beneath it is to return to that first moment, the womb of existence, where the formless becomes form, where mystery becomes matter. What was found under the pyramids, then, is not only evidence of forgotten civilizations, but the path to remembering our own divine origin. The ancients knew that true power lies not in conquest or control, but in transformation. They left behind blueprints in stone, buried deep, waiting for us to look not just with our eyes, but with awakened hearts. To understand what truly lies beneath the pyramids, one must first discard the idea that these chambers were constructed for death. In truth, they were crafted for rebirth. Imagine descending into darkness, not as a symbol of fear, but of return. The ancient initiates who entered these underground chambers did not do so to escape life. They descended to meet its source. These hidden rooms were sanctified spaces where the soul underwent sacred transformation, far from the noise of the world above. What modern explorers found: smooth, pitch-dark corridors, deep wells of still water, and massive sarcophagi carved with no tool marks, are not the remnants of funerary rites, but instruments of alchemical awakening. Take, for instance, the massive granite boxes found beneath the Serapeum at Saqqara, each one carved with impossible precision, far beyond the means of copper chisels. Too large to have been moved into their current positions after construction, they resonate when struck. They echo with sound in ways that suggest a deliberate attunement to vibration and frequency. Could these sarcophagi have been sound chambers, designed to resonate with the human body and its energy centers, like an ancient chakra attunement device built of stone? And in the depths of the Great Pyramid, the so-called King's Chamber sits above a chamberless void, what some have dubbed the grotto. Yet below both of these lies the subterranean chamber, hewn directly into the bedrock. It is raw, unrefined, yet curiously central to the pyramid's energetic layout. This chamber, according to many esoteric scholars, was the true site of the first initiations. Candidates were placed in symbolic tombs, perhaps even the stone boxes themselves, and left alone in total darkness, surrounded by nothing but the earth, their breath, and the beating of their own hearts. Here's where the mystery thickens. Within these stone wombs, initiates would undergo what the ancients called the second birth, a shamanic death. Stripped of sensory input, they would fast, meditate, and chant sacred tones until their consciousness separated from the body. It was not hallucination, but an intentional and disciplined release. Modern mystics call it astral projection. The Egyptians called it becoming one with Osiris, the god who died, was dismembered, and returned whole, as a ruler of both life and death. In that state, initiates would travel through inner dimensions, realms of light and geometry, of celestial beings and timeless knowledge. The pyramid was not the portal, it was the tuning fork. Its dimensions, aligned with both the stars and the golden ratio, created a frequency field that made the soul's journey easier. Think of it as a massive antenna, connecting Earth to the divine cosmos, harmonizing the frequencies of the human soul with that of the stars. And this was not theory for the ancients, it was practical technology. There are stories, rarely spoken outside esoteric circles, of inner teachings passed down by the Egyptian mystery schools. These teachings claimed that beneath the pyramids existed crystalline structures, living memory stones encoded with the vibrational imprints of the universe. These crystals, it is said, could be activated by sound or consciousness itself, offering visions or downloads of ancient wisdom. Whether metaphor or truth, many modern seekers have meditated in these chambers and reported overwhelming experiences, flashes of past lives, voices of ancient priests, or a presence that seems to awaken something long dormant within. This is the true treasure beneath the pyramids, not gold, but gnosis, not tombs, but temples, hidden from those who sought only power, yet open to any who dared to face themselves. The ancients knew, to ascend to the heavens, one must first descend into the earth. For only in darkness does the seed crack open. Only in silence does the soul begin to sing. Now that we've descended into the chambers of stone and silence, let us begin to unravel the deeper layers, the metaphysical blueprints encoded beneath the pyramids, not just in architecture but in consciousness itself. What the ancients left for us was not only physical, it was symbolic. Every tunnel, every shaft, every chamber beneath the pyramids corresponds not merely to a structural design but to a spiritual anatomy. The subterranean world of these ancient monuments mirrors the inner landscape of the initiate's soul. Let us return for a moment to the Great Pyramid. Esoterically, its internal layout, descending passage, subterranean chamber, ascending passage, Queen's Chamber, Grand Gallery, and King's Chamber, maps perfectly onto the journey of spiritual ascent. The descent into the earth mirrors the descent into ego, the facing of darkness, the confrontation with fear. But the turning point, the ascending passage, marks the shift, the choice to awaken, to climb the spiral of inner transmutation. This is no coincidence. It is a codified alchemical map, a metaphysical architecture. The King's Chamber, positioned at the heart of the pyramid, is often associated with the pineal gland, the seat of inner vision, or the third eye. Esoteric traditions across time, from the Vedic seers of India to the mystics of Kemet, speak of this gland as the gateway to spiritual perception. Some researchers have noted that the dimensions of the king's chamber align with harmonic frequencies, especially 432 Hz, long thought to be the natural frequency of the universe. Within this resonance, some believe, the chamber would amplify meditative states, potentially awakening dormant spiritual faculties. But even more intriguing are the electromagnetic anomalies detected in and beneath the pyramids. Recent studies have shown that the Great Pyramid concentrates electromagnetic energy into its inner chambers and the base, especially into the subterranean chamber. This isn't just physics, it is physics as prayer. The builders were manipulating subtle energies, shaping fields with precision, creating vibrational sanctuaries that could alter states of consciousness. This brings us to a mystery whispered in arcane schools, the idea of the living pyramid. Not merely a building, but a bioenergetic structure that interacts with human consciousness. Beneath the earth, the granite and quartz materials used in the subterranean structures act as conductors. The chambers themselves form resonant cavities, amplifying breath, chant, and thought. Initiates who entered these chambers were not just meditating, they were attuning their body to the frequency of the earth, aligning their energy field with the cosmic grid. And here's where the boundary between history and myth begins to blur. There are accounts, deeply buried in occult lore, that suggest beneath the pyramid network lies a massive crystalline structure, a forgotten Atlantean machine known as the Eye of Ptah, said to be capable of storing consciousness, manipulating time, or even interfacing with celestial forces. Whether this is symbolic or literal, its meaning remains the same. The ancients left behind a tool, hidden in stone, to trigger our remembering. The pyramid, then, is a code. And beneath it, within its dark roots, lies the password to awakening. But perhaps the greatest truth of all is this: the structure beneath the pyramid is also within us. The chambers we speak of, the voids, the shafts, the halls of resonance, they are reflected in the human body and psyche. The descent into the earth mirrors the descent into the subconscious. The alignment with celestial forces mirrors the alignment of thought with higher will. To walk beneath the pyramid is to walk the path of initiation carved into the soul before birth. And so, the question is no longer, what did they find beneath the pyramids? The question becomes, what do we find beneath ourselves? For the real chamber, the true vault, is hidden in plain sight, behind our closed eyes and silent breath. The ancients built below ground what we must now uncover within. The time has come to enter. Now that we've explored the hidden chambers beneath the pyramids and unraveled their esoteric significance, we must ask, how can this ancient wisdom be applied in our modern lives? After all, true esotericism is not about collecting mystical facts, it's about transformation. The pyramid was never just a structure of stone. It was, and still is, a sacred instruction manual, a map for awakening the human soul. The journey beneath the pyramid was not about exploration, it was about initiation. And you, too, can walk this inner path. You do not need to descend into the sands of Giza. The same alchemical process that once occurred beneath limestone and granite can now unfold within your own body, your own breath, your own awareness. Begin with the breath, for breath is the invisible bridge between the seen and unseen. The initiates of Egypt practiced controlled breathing, what yogic systems now call pranayama, to still the mind and open inner gateways. Try this. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and take slow, rhythmic breaths. Inhale deeply for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold again for 4. This is the sacred square, mirroring the square base of the pyramid, the foundation upon which ascension is built. Next, descend into inner silence. The subterranean chamber beneath the pyramid was utterly dark, utterly quiet. This darkness was not a void, it was the womb of the cosmos. Recreate this environment by practicing sensory withdrawal. Turn off all distractions. Sit in a darkened room. Close your eyes, and listen, not with your ears, but with your soul. Let thoughts rise and fall without attachment. This is the beginning of inner descent, the phase where the false self dissolves, and the hidden self begins to stir. Now, add vibration. The ancients used sound as a key to unlock altered states. Chanting the sound, Om, Aum, or the Egyptian, Nu, aligns your body with cosmic resonance. Do this while meditating. Vibrate the sound out loud, then internally. Imagine the pyramid rising around you, its angles aligning with your spine, its apex touching your crown. You are the temple, you are the chamber, you are the seeker and the found. A deeper practice, for those ready, is the ritual of inner burial. Lie flat on your back, arms crossed over the chest, like the mummies of old, but fully alive. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself beneath the pyramid, inside a stone sarcophagus. Feel the cool stone around you. Visualize your body dissolving, not dying, but shedding illusion. Let go of your name, your roles, your desires. In this sacred stillness, speak silently to the universe. I seek not the world's treasure, but the treasure that is me. Remain in this space for 15 to 20 minutes. When you rise, do so slowly, as if reborn. This practice, done regularly, deepens your connection to the timeless wisdom buried beneath the noise of daily life. Also, pay attention to the stars. Just as the pyramids were aligned with Orion's belt and Sirius, align your own life with cosmic rhythms. Spend time under the night sky. Meditate beneath starlight. Whisper questions to the cosmos, and trust the answers that come, not from the heavens above, but from the silence within. Lastly, keep a journal, not just of thoughts, but of dreams, symbols, synchronicities. The ancient initiates recorded visions received in altered states. Your subconscious is the final chamber, and dreams are its language. Treat them not as random nonsense, but as sacred messages from your buried self. The wisdom found beneath the pyramids is not locked in museums. It is living, breathing, and waiting for those willing to look beneath the surface, to remember what they already know. You are the initiate, the earth is your temple, and the journey inward is the greatest excavation of all. We began this journey with a question: what lies beneath the pyramids? And now, after traveling through shadowed corridors of stone and silence, through chambers where sound once sang to stars, and through the echoes of ancient breath and buried wisdom, we arrive at a deeper truth, one that was never about tunnels or tombs, but about transformation. Beneath the pyramids, the ancients did not bury kings. They planted seeds of awakening. Their underground chambers were not graves but wombs of rebirth. Their sarcophagi were not meant to imprison the dead, but to free the living soul from illusion. The real burial was always symbolic, the burial of ignorance, of fear, of limitation. These mysteries were never meant for the few. They were meant for the courageous, for those willing to descend into themselves, to face the darkness not as punishment but as passage. You now know what lies beneath the pyramid, but more importantly, you know what lies beneath your own surface, a hidden geometry, a secret resonance, a silent power waiting to be reawakened. Let the pyramid now rise within you. Let your breath become its passageway. Let your mind become its grand gallery. Let your spirit ascend through its inner apex until you remember, you are the chamber, the seeker, and the light. And if this journey stirred something ancient in your soul, if the silence spoke, if the symbols shimmered, then let the ripple grow. Like this video if it resonated with your inner truth. Share it with others who walk the hidden path. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss the next unveiling of ancient light. And let us continue walking this sacred road together, stone by stone, breath by breath, mystery by mystery. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay awakened, stay aligned, and remember, what was buried was never lost. It was waiting for you.